Hello folks, welcome back to the show here on FlickDirect, where I give you guys the latest that happened in movie news throughout the week, and then I give you guys my personal take on the matter at hand. I'm your host, Austin Pum, and we have quite a bit to talk about this week, so let's jump right into some news regarding Terminator Dark Fate. As we all know, Comic-Con has been going on all weekend, and to everyone who's there, I'm envious. Seriously, I want to go so freaking burn. Joking aside, I am glad for all of you who are there, and I hope you guys are having a great time, especially my FlickDirect colleagues. But about 2 days ago, a Terminator Dark Fate panel happened at Comic-Con, and Tim Miller showed up for an appearance to confirm two things. One of them being that Terminator Dark Fate will be in fact R-rated, to which it's cool and all, but that doesn't guarantee your film will be good. I mean, Exhibit A. But the other thing he confirmed, and I cannot believe he got this guy to be in this film, but get ready to hear this. Tim Miller has confirmed that Edward Furlong, yes, John Connor himself, Edward Furlong, will reappear as John Connor in Terminator Dark Fate. Are you kidding me? Now this blows my mind for a few particular reasons. One of them being that if you guys have followed Edward Furlong's career after Terminator 2 and after American History X, you will know that he hasn't really had the best life afterwards. I mean, he's had a lot of drug use history, a lot of alcohol problems, if I remember correctly, and a lot of issues with the law. I mean, a lot of issues. Which really is a damn shame because Edward Furlong in both Terminator 2 and American History X, he was phenomenal in both those films, and I really wanted to see where he would go. I mean, I'm sure he's been in other things since those two films, but those two movies are the ones I remember him the most from. At Comic-Con, there was a featurette that was presented, and Tim Miller looked like he was having the time of his life directing a movie, and I'm gonna quote him here. I mean, like, this is exactly what he said. You know, last night I was looking at two monitors and I was directing. At one monitor was Linda Hamilton, and the other monitor was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I just thought, holy fuck, I'm making a Terminator movie. And you know what? While I may not be that eager to see Terminator Dark Fate, it's really cool to see that Tim Miller is really passionate about this film. I mean, he's a huge Terminator fan from what I've been hearing, and his passion for the film does give me some optimism from it. We will see what happens when the film comes out in November. Alright, so the next bit of movie news I have here, when I read this, I was a little suspicious due to what's been happening with them recently. But when I think about it, it's understandable. But as we all know, Benioff and Weiss, the creators of the Game of Thrones TV series, which is personally for me one of my favorite TV shows out there. I mean, minus the final season, the series finale specifically, that show is an amazing show. I mean, season 4 of Game of Thrones is some of the best TV I have ever seen out there. And I don't know if it was before season 8 or season 7, but it was reported that Benioff and Weiss signed on to make their own series of Star Wars films, but they won't be coming out until, I believe, 2021. But there was a report that Benioff and Weiss were supposed to appear at Comic-Con, I believe for a Game of Thrones reunion or a Star Wars reunion, but they declined. They canceled their appearance because they wanted to work on Star Wars more. And from what I heard, I don't know about this. Now, my thoughts go into two different sides right here. The first side is that they were afraid to appear at Comic-Con because they thought they were going to get booed, because if you guys probably didn't know this already, the series finale of Game of Thrones was divisive as can be. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was satisfied overall with the finale. I mean, there's a lot of things I was mixed about, but I still liked the finale. I mean, it wasn't perfect by any sort of the imagination, but there are a lot of people that said that they felt like they wasted 8 years of their lives because of this finale, and I wouldn't go that far. It wasn't that bad, at least I thought. And my other thought is, yeah, maybe they do just want to focus solely on Star Wars and not want to really think of anything else, because if you're tackling on an IP as famous as Star Wars, there is a lot of pressure, especially if you all know of what's been going on with the fan base, especially after The Last Jedi, to which, I'll say it again, I freaking love that film to no end. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a bit suspicious knowing that they canceled their appearance at kind of the last second to work on Star Wars, but if they really are working on Star Wars, good for them. I'd rather have all my efforts focused on something that I'm really passionate about. Next up, when I read this, I was really happy, but at the same time, I was kind of bummed out because I was really looking forward to seeing how this film adaptation would go. But anyways, as we all know, Taika Waititi, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is probably one of the most sought out directors out there. I mean, if you guys haven't seen his previous film, What We Do in the Shadows, check it out. It is probably honestly my favorite comedy of the 2010s at this moment. It is hysterical as can be. He went to doing Thor Ragnarok, which is one of the best MCU films out there, and ever since then, he has been the most sought out director, or one of the most sought out directors in Hollywood. He is currently finishing production on a film called Jojo Rabbit, which I cannot wait to see because it sounds hilarious. But as he was finishing Jojo Rabbit up, he was reportedly in line to write and direct a new adaptation of Akira. Yes, Akira, not the anime, but the manga itself. I have not read the manga or seen the anime, but everything I've heard tells me I need to check out this movie right now. But Taika Waititi was supposed to be in production for Akira, I believe, next year for a 2021 release date. However, now, apparently, he has signed on to write and direct Thor 4 instead, which means one thing: Akira has been put back on hold indefinitely. So this makes me really happy, but it bums me at the same time because of this. One, I love Thor Ragnarok, and I loved what Taika Waititi did with the MCU, especially with the Thor character. But it also bums me out because while I haven't seen Akira, I know of how amazing it is, or I have heard of how amazing it is, and I really want to check that movie out, and knowing how gifted Taika Waititi is, I really wanted to see how he would adapt the manga. He said he wasn't gonna adapt the anime specifically, but it was gonna adapt the manga into this huge movie that was gonna be coming out. And I know a lot of sources out there are saying that production has been canceled. Guys, it's not canceled. It's just been put on hold. I don't know for how long. I don't know if Taika Waititi is going to direct Akira after finishing Thor 4, because Thor 4 is not going to come out for another couple of years, so we'll see what happens. So I'm really happy about this, but I'm bummed at the same time because, you know, we get one thing that's great, but we lose something else that could have been probably amazing too. So it's a catch-22 in all honesty. Well, it's not really lose-lose. It's a win-lose situation. Yeah, win-lose situation. Still cannot wait to see Thor 4 though. So hyped for that. For our next news story, we have some updates on the sequels to 2018's Halloween. So 2018's Halloween was a film that I really dug because not only was it such a great return to form for an amazing horror film franchise with one of the greatest slasher film villains out there, but it was also a phenomenal way to reintroduce Michael Myers to a new generation. And I seriously, I'm gonna say it again, dug the hell out of it. I have it on 4K down there somewhere. But before Halloween 2018 came out, it was originally announced that David Gordon Green was going to film this Halloween with another sequel back to back, but Gordon Green stated that, you know what, we're gonna wait to see how this film does. And you know what, hey, good on you, because not only did the film do well, but it did amazing with reviews. So as a result, two sequels have been announced, one called Halloween Kills, and the final one called Halloween Ends, to which I think, is that going to be it for the Halloween movies? So Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends are, I don't know if they're the final two Halloween films, but if they are, honest to God, I'd rather see Halloween end than just a franchise being milked over and over and over again. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends are slated for release for 2020 and 2021. I don't think there's a release date quite yet, but it'd be crazy to not release them in October, just saying. Not only that, but it was announced that Jamie Lee Curtis was returning to star as Laurie Strode, but also it was announced that David Gordon Green was to come back as directing. This makes me really happy because, like I mentioned before, I really dug 2018's Halloween a lot, and I do want to see how they do continue, especially from that final shot in Halloween 2018. I mean, that was a hell of a shot, but still, really excited to see what David Gordon Green does, and really excited to see what Blumhouse does with the new Halloweens coming forward. And on to our final news story, we have some trailer news. So since it is Comic-Con, there have been a bunch of trailers dropping. Like, the first trailer that was announced was the final trailer for It Chapter 2, which I have not seen because I want to be surprised. But two trailers did come out, one of them being for Top Gun Maverick, and the other one being for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Now, I'm going to talk about Top Gun Maverick first because the original Top Gun was one of my favorite movies from the 1980s. I mean, I love that film. It has a sense of fun and cheese to it that it just makes it so lovable, and plus the aerial combat sequences are just so much fun. And the Top Gun sequel has been in development for, what did Tom Cruise say, like 30 years, somewhere around there? Yeah, about 30 years, which is crazy. But the trailer has finally come out, and Top Gun Maverick looks like a really cool film. It really does. If there's anything that I love about the look of this film, it's I love how this movie is shot. Joseph Kosinski, if you've seen Only the Brave or Tron Legacy, his films have an amazing look to them, and the aerial sequences in this film, they look out of this world incredible, especially those point-of-view cockpit sequences that go around to Tom Cruise. It looks cool as can be. So now I want to talk about the trailer for Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, and I just want to say right now, not only am I a huge fan of Kevin Smith, but I am relieved to see that he's still here with us after his near-fatal heart attack. Seriously, thank you for still being with us and making content for us still. Not only that, but I'm a big fan of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I think it's absolutely hilarious, and there has been talks of Kevin Smith either doing a Clerks 3, which is not happening, a Mallrats 2, which is not happening either. But now, Jay and Silent Bob reboot was written and directed. They finished photography on it, and according to Kevin Smith, he said, and I quote, "It is literally the same f***ing movie over again," which I love his self-awareness about the whole thing. And the trailer looks hysterical. I could not stop laughing throughout this entire trailer. That opening scene, I was in tears. Now, does the movie look production-wise great? No. But what I'm happy to see is Kevin Smith still making films with Jason Mewes, and I'm just happy to see the Jay and Silent Bob characters returning and on another adventure. And you know what? Once again, I'm happy to see that Kevin Smith is still making films, and I cannot wait to see the return of some of my favorite stoners returning in October. I believe the film comes out. I cannot wait. Alright guys, and that is going to do it for this week's show. Please comment down and let me know below, how do you all feel about Edward Furlong returning to play John Connor in Terminator Dark Fate? What do you guys think of Benioff and Weiss canceling their Comic-Con appearance at nearly the last second to focus on Star Wars? Also, how do you all feel about Taika Waititi directing Thor 4 instead of Akira? Also, when it comes to the Halloween sequels, are you guys really excited about them, knowing that they are hopefully, well, I'm hoping it's the end of them because I want to see a conclusion to Halloween as much as I love this franchise. And last but not least, have you guys seen the trailers to Jay and Silent Bob reboot and Top Gun Maverick? What you guys think? Let us know below. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. If so, please hit that like button and share and subscribe. Also, a couple of my FlickDirect correspondents are at Comic-Con right now having a blast, and keep an eye out for our Comic-Con coverage, which will be coming out hopefully soon, so keep an eye out for that. And if you guys want to see any of our previous 2 shows, please click either right there or there. And of course, until next week, have a great week, guys.